pitches, part one, types of pitches. So before I get into the nitty gritty, I want to talk to you about the kinds of pitches we're doing today. So there's two genres of pitching that I'm going to talk about today. One is more of the traditional publishing type of pitch. So that's a magazine, a newspaper, maybe even a sort of just like an online publication. So I'm going to give you some examples of those in a second. And then the second genre is sort of your more traditional freelance writing pitch. This is going to be more copywriting, content writing type of thing that's kind of not quite as fun and exciting as, say, pitching your work to Glamour magazine, but I do think both are important and relevant to folks that want to actually make a living or make a decent amount of money doing this freelance writing thing. So I'm going to get more into that in a moment, but let's start here. What is a pitch? Okay, I'm sure you have an idea of that or you wouldn't be here, but I do want to just sort of lay the groundwork. And a pitch is, definition one is the traditional writing pitch. So a concise and persuasive email, pretty much always an email. I don't really know people that send snail mail pitches anymore these days. So a concise and persuasive email sent by a writer to a media outlet, magazine, or website. It introduces the editor or media outlet to the writer's proposed article or story idea, outlining the relevance, the unique angle, and the potential value to the publication's readership. So important to remember that this isn't just about us and our ideas, but the reader and why they're going to benefit from our idea. Also, to know about traditional writing pitches, you want to have a curiosity-driven subject line, a brief summary of the article with a key list of key points, and the writer's qualifications or expertise on the subject matter. And so that doesn't mean you want to give like a 5-paragraph bio of yourself, but if you are trying to write an article on something related to, say, breast cancer, if you've had breast cancer, you want to mention that. If you are a nurse, you want to mention that. So giving yourself every possibility to show the editor like why you're a good person to write on this subject. So we want to capture the editor's attention, showcase our writing skills and knowledge, and convince the editor to commission the article for publication. That's, I think, really key here to think when we are emailing editors. We are there. We have a job to do. We have a job to convince them that our idea is important. It's important right now. Readers are going to like it, and that there's a reason that we should be writing it, like us personally. Like we're not just some random person that wants to write about, why the grass is growing more this summer. Maybe we have a certification in grass growing. Obviously that doesn't exist, but you know what I mean? Make yourself relevant. So here are examples of places that you might pitch for a traditional publication. Newspapers, USA Today, The Washington Post, Los Angeles Times, magazines, Glamour, Good Housekeeping, Time, and websites, Scary Mommy, The Rumpus, and The Dad. These are obviously just a very limited amount of places that I've put here up on the screen, but just to give you an example, these are the kinds of places that I'm talking about. Insert your own newspaper, magazines, or websites that you can think of, and that's what I'm talking about. So moving on to the second definition of a pitch, and this is for the traditional freelance work. So we're talking copywriting, content writing, the kind of stuff that maybe isn't going to be something that you're bragging about to everyone, but is going to make you income, and it's going to use your skills as a writer. So this definition means it's a pitch to obtain freelance copywriting work as a targeted and persuasive proposal submitted by the writer to potential clients or businesses seeking writing services. So a little bit more buttoned up, a little bit less creative a lot of times, but you're often pitching someone that's going to be able to pay you a little more. It's going to be a little bit more detailed of a process. So in these kinds of pitches, you're going to want to showcase your skills as a copywriter, your experience, your creativity, address the specific needs and goals of the client. What are they looking for? What can you do for them? And help yourself stand out from other people that are pitching. So there's going to be a lot of people pitching these places, and it's hard to stand out. So you need to think about, how does your portfolio or how does your email make you seem different or more suited for this particular job at this particular place? Now, I mentioned portfolio. We're probably not going to have time to get super in detail into the portfolio side of things, but this is not a difficult thing to put together. I have an example. I will actually go ahead and send that out to you in the post post-class email of a portfolio put together on Canva. Canva is my best friend. I use it for everything I do. And you can do the same and create a really nice looking portfolio that you can use if you're submitting to a freelance, definition number 2 of a freelance pitch. Here are a couple of things that pitches for a traditional freelance writing client might include: a captivating introduction, a brief overview of the industry of the person that you want to work for, making sure that they sort of understand making sure they understand that you know what you're talking about when it comes to their industry or product, that you're not just some random person that knows absolutely nothing. You want to show them that you get their target audience and that you're going to be able to speak to their needs. And then a proposal outlining the services you offer and the benefits of working with you. Like, what are the things you're going to do for them? And you want to get specific, because a lot of times what I find with some of these kinds of clients is that they almost need to be told what they need. And so you can come in and say, oh, I see, something, noticing something about their blog. Oh, your blog isn't updated very much. Like, as part of, working with you, I can update your blog with 500-word blog posts once a week about XYZ. And so depending on the niche, depending on the business or organization or nonprofit, whatever it is, you want to get specific about how you can help them. And you can really make yourself stand out that way, because so many people are sending them generic pitches to work for them. Okay. All right. Examples of where you might be pitching for this kind of thing. A little bit more broad of targets here, but just for some examples: nonprofits, small businesses, agencies, e-commerce sites, professional websites. If you want to take a screenshot of this just to save it, you can. But all of these places are looking for freelance writers to supplement all kinds of freelance writing needs. And so start putting those on your radar if you're interested in doing more work like this, because it is the kind of work that you can really begin to make a substantial income from your freelance writing. Okay, so you may be wondering, like, why are we covering these two different genres of pitching? I know some people come into my classes and my email list, and some are interested in that content writing. Some are more interested in that side of things where they want to see their names and bylines published in big magazines and publications. But for me, it's the combination of the two that has been like the golden ticket to my, I guess you would say, freedom and happiness. That's a little bit bold of a way to put it, but I make about 50 to 70% of my income from the sort of money-making clients, the copywriting, sort of social media copy type of clients, and then 25 to 50%. And this is literally, that's just a guess. I don't actually have that calculated, but that's my sort of, rough estimate, 20 to 50% from the more value-based writing, which is the writing I do that is something that is more meaningful to me, that I want to be able to do. And so how did I get to this position? Because you may be thinking that's something that you want to do as well. Well, I always wanted to do more value-based writing that was higher profile, got more readers about topics I cared about. This picture of me here is the first time I got published in the Wall Street Journal. And I mean, talk about dream come true. That was like one of the most exciting days of my life, because I had never imagined that was something that I could actually do. And I knew this was sort of more toward the beginning of this process about 4 years ago. I said, I knew I want to be able to do more of that. The problem is it takes a lot of time to pitch, or not, it doesn't take a lot of time to pitch, but it takes a lot of time to be really thoughtful and to actually write really good stuff. When I had a 9-to-5 job, I didn't have time to do that. And so when I went freelance, it allowed me that opportunity to make the money I needed in less time, and then gave me the time that was necessary for these big pitches and to land bigger pieces. And so I'm trying to come up with a name for this little formula that I've concocted, but basically do the writing, letting someone in the room, sorry. Do the writing that you need to do to make money so that you can do the writing that you want to do, that's more fulfilling, that also makes money, but often not as much. Now, I just want to make a distinction here that I don't dislike the copywriting, the content writing. I don't dislike that. I do enjoy it. I like writing. I'm a good writer. It's easy for me. And so that's just a benefit. I think, I just want to emphasize for anyone here to note that if you're here, you probably like writing, you're probably pretty good at it. And that's a skill that not everyone has. And so I'm so glad that